What's going on, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood father of bunnies, Stubakka, here with another tutorial video. Again, if you find these tutorials useful, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and there'll be many more to come. But today we are going to talk about how to get nifty little screen captions that follow everything you're saying and how to make them look transparent on your stream. Let's get started. So what you guys are going to notice is that it's picking up everything that I'm saying, and it's actually pretty accurate. This is actually a lot easier than people think it is to get this going. There's many tools out there to do this, mostly are web-based, but today we're going to talk about one in particular. It's called Web Captioner. The link will be down in the description below, so make sure you follow along, and I'll show you how to add this as a source to your OBS so that you can have closed captioning in your stream for, actually catering to an audience that needs it, or just because you like to have that kind of aesthetic in your stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the PC source here. So as you can see here, I am on the website, webcaptioner.com. You guys can't actually see it, but I'll bring it in here. And there's actually the web capture going on in the background, which is actually the window that's being captured in this corner over here. This is the actual capture window that I have set in OBS to capture everything that I'm saying. So it works much like having a window source in OBS. And I'm going to take you guys into how to deal with that. Right now we're going to do a stop captioning. And we're going to actually click right here and go into the settings. There's settings in here like being able to change the font that's being used, what the text color looks like. This is a feature that I like where it can use a different color for when it's trying to figure out what you're saying, which can be kind of comedic. It can add like a comedic effect. And these are various options that I've chosen as for the alignment. And I'm going to go into why the background color is green in a second here. But let's start captioning again so that it picks it up on the screen. So you're asking yourself, how do you make this happen? So it's very simple. One thing I like to do is once I've set up everything the way I like it, is I like to go down here to the little control panel that's on the website. Let me resize this a moment. So I like to go down here to the control panel that they have on the website, and I like to choose New Window because I want the actual window that's being captured to be a separate window than all my tabs and everything I have open on Chrome. So I could have a bunch of things going on Chrome, but I want this capture window where it's capturing what you're saying to be on its own. So I do this, and then I just leave this. I believe you can leave it minimized in the background. Let's double check. Testing, testing, testing. Nope. So if it's minimized, it won't actually capture what you're saying. It has to be running. So for now, we're just going to leave it like that, and we're going to bring the other window in front of it. So how is it capturing it in OBS? Well, I'm going to show you in a moment. We're going to bring OBS over here, and you're going to see some crazy stuff going on, but bear with me. So the way it's being captured in OBS is actually right here. As you see, I have a source called Captions. And if you didn't have this in OBS, if you didn't have this set up already, you would actually click this plus sign. I'm using Streamlabs OBS. It's very similar to OBS in this particular aspect of what I'm about to show you. So don't be confused by one or the other. It's the same functionality. So you're going to click your plus sign. You're going to click that you're capturing a window capture. Add source. And in your case, since you don't have this yet, you're going to want to call this something like Captions. I already have it active. You would call it Captions and click Add Source. And the next thing you're going to do, I'm going to cancel it for this purpose because I already have it, because I'm going to show you the properties of this source. So you would say Add New Source, and it would be at the very top of your list, just the way this is in the layers. Now let's look at the properties of this. So as you can see, it is set to capture chrome.exe or whatever browser you're using. And in this case, it's pointed to the Captions windowed, which is that separate new window that I opened. This is freaky. All right. And you want to make sure it's really specific like that. You know, window title must match. And by default, it uses this multi-adapter compatibility. You may not see this in regular OBS. But basically, you would say, okay. Now, I want you guys to know that when you do that by default, it's going to look like this. It is going to be full size on your screen. You're going to want to narrow it down and place it, you know, pretty much wherever you're going to want it to go. In my case, I like to put it right about here. I think I have it consistent across all my other sources. So, bearing in mind, it's going to be full screen. It's going to freak you out when it's like that, but just resize the window to accommodate that. So the other thing I want to show you guys is that you'll notice that my text is transparent. And by default, it is not transparent. By default, it actually sets a color background of black. Why is this important to make it look transparent? Well, it'll be much easier to place on your screen if it's transparent. One other trick you can do to make it a little, you know, more useful is you can actually set it to the color green. And then just like with a green screen in OBS, you would add a chroma key filter to your source, which I'll show you guys real quick. We're going to go back to OBS. And right here, if you notice in my filters, there's two filters running. One is cropping the top, which actually I'll go over in a moment, and one is the chroma key filter. This is when you have a green background and you want the words to be transparent. If you were to turn this off, you'll see that the background is green because it's not filtering it out anymore. But by default, this background is black when you first set this up. You can also set how transparent this text is, which I'll go over in a moment, how transparent the background is, so that you can have a little bit of background on it. Let's say you want to keep it black, but you don't want it to be a solid black bar, or in this case, what would be a solid green background. You can actually go back to the Web Captioner website, and you can go right here to where it says background opacity, and you can change it to like 50% or 20% or whatever you want it to do. It really depends how you want your captions to look on screen. You know, it's really up to you guys. But in my case, I like to have them transparent, at least for the time being, because I'm pretty sure where it'll stand out. But once I play with it, the white text might not be the best choice for most video games. I don't really know yet. I might end up changing the text color to be something else. I think that's why I have the red there, so that it tries to capture what, you know, I'm saying in red, and then it changes it in white, whatever. The other thing I'm going to go into is that when it's capturing that window by default, it's actually capturing the entire window. So you'll notice that if I remove this crop, you'll see that the top of that menu bar shows up right here, which we don't really want that to show up on stream. You know, it basically says like file, edit, all that stuff. We don't want that to show up. So we're going to add a crop pad, which you can do from your various settings right here. You would add crop pad, and then you can change the left side, the right side. In this case, the top, we're going to bring it down 90. That's just enough to cut off the top of the window, and no one sees that it's actually a web window that's being captured. So the closed captioning thing is actually really cool. You know, it adds another layer to your stream. It adds, you know, functionality for people that are hearing impaired, which is really neat because you can cater to a completely different audience. I myself, when I watch Netflix and things like that, because I'm kind of an old bastard, I tend to, you know, have subtitles on when I'm watching Netflix stuff, because, you know, either I'm watching it late at night or something like that, and I don't want the volume to be too loud, or someone has an accent and I can't really understand what they're saying. There's tons of reasons why you would want closed captioning on. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. Again, if it was helpful, please go ahead, leave a comment, leave a like. If you feel so inclined, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Stubakka. That's Stubakka. And again, it's been a pleasure helping you guys out. And if you have other suggestions for tutorials that you need, don't be afraid to ask the father of bunnies. I'll catch you later. Bye.